Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we'll proceed with the chapter 2, which is counting rules and probability. So I will start with the 2.1, which is counting rules. Three rules can be used to determine the number of all possible outcomes for a sequence event. The first one is by using fundamental counting rules. The second one is the permutation rule, and the third one is the combination rule. Let's look at to the example here. Let's say when you toss a coin, there are two possible outcomes, which is either you will get head or tails. And if it is equally likely event or it is a fair coin, the chances for you to get head is half. Same goes for you to get tails, is also half. Let's say when you toss a coin for the second time, the chances for you to get head and tails still equal, which is 50% and 50%. And when you toss a coin for the third time, the chances is still the same, which is 50% and 50%. So in the bracket here is referring to the outcome. So when you toss a coin 3 times, and the first one you get head, the second one you also get head, the third one you also get head. Therefore, the one of the possible outcome, it is head, head, and head. Let's say you get head for the first time, and then the second time you toss you get tail, and then the third time you get head. So the outcome here is the head, tail, and head until the end. So the total possible outcome here, when you try to calculate, so we will get 8 possible outcomes. So actually we can also find out the total number of outcome by using fundamental counting rules, which is the first event, the outcome is 2. When you toss a coin for the second time, the outcome is still 2, and the third time the outcome is still 2. So all the possible outcome is head, head, head until tail, 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 and the total number of outcome is 2 times 2 times 2. So you will get equivalent to 8 total number of outcome. Let's say we have another example here. When we toss a coin and then you roll a dice, so the possible outcome when we toss a coin is head and tail. And for the rolling a dice, so the possible outcome is either we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. This is one of the outcome. Let's say you get head and then you get dice with the number of 1. And then until head 2, and then until the last one we have you get tail, and then you get dice with the number of 6. So when we try to calculate manually, the total number of outcome here, it is actually equivalent to 12 total number of outcome. So it is quite tedious when we have several events or it is involved more than 2 events. So by using fundamental counting rules to calculate the total number of outcome, it is equivalent to the total number of ways for the first event times with the number of ways for the second event, and so on. So for each number of ways, so we will multiply. Therefore, for this case, when you toss a coin, the possible outcome is 2, and then when we roll a dice, the possible outcome is 6. Therefore, the total number of outcome is equivalent to 12. Let's look at to the first example here. The diagram shows cards of a game. If a player is going to select a letter card and a digit, find the number of different ways this can be done. So we have total number of cards here is 4, and the total number of digits here is equivalent to 3. So even though we want to select only a letter card and a digit, but there are 4 possible letters, so we still consider 4, and there are 3 possible digits, so 4 times 3, the total number of outcome is equals to 12. Okay, let's proceed with this one. To open personal locker, you must enter 5 digits from the set of 0, 1 until digit 9. How many different possible if any digits can be used in any position and repetition is allowed? And for the part B, no repetition is allowed. When the repetition is allowed and there are 5 digits here, so the possible number of ways is equivalent to 10 outcome for the first digit, For the second digit, also 10 outcomes until the fifth digit here, the possible outcome is 10. Therefore, the possible combination of the 5 digit to open this locker is equivalent to 100,000 possibilities. When the repetition is not allowed, so the first digit, the possible outcome is 10, and then reduced by 1, 9, then the third digit will become only 8 possibilities, the fourth one, 7 possibilities, and the fifth digit is 6 possibilities. So the total number of possibilities, as you can see here, it is reducing, which is 30,240 possible outcome. Let's look at to the second example here. A company puts a code on each different product they sell. The code is made up of 4 letters and followed by 3 digits. The diagram above shows the letters and numbers that they use to create the code. How many different codes are possible if the repetition is allowed? So since we want to use all the letters, which is 4 letters, and we will use 3 digit, therefore when the repetition is not allowed, so therefore when the repetition is allowed for the first part, so 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 for the 4 letters, and times with the 3 digit, 3 times 3, since the repetition is allowed. So the total number of outcome we will get 6912. And when the repetition is not allowed, for the first digit, there are 4 number of ways. For the second digit, for the second letters is 3, and third one is 2, and then the next one is 1. And then for the first digit, there are 3 number of ways. Second digit will become 2, and the last digit is only 1 possibilities. Or we can also use factorial notation, 4 factorial times with the 3 factorial. So we will get the total number of ways is equivalent to 144. Let's proceed with the third example. Each university student must have their own 5-digit identification tags. How many different identification tags can be made if the digits can be used more than once and the repetition are not permitted? So same like before, for the first one, since we have 5 digits ID, so we have 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, or you can just put it as 10 power of 5, so you will get 100,000. And when the repetition are not allowed, we have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6. So the total number of possibilities is 30240.